Fantastic. Good morning. Good morning, brothers and sisters. I am honored and excited to be here. Like you've heard, my name is Dindi. I'm a staff with Life Ministry Kenya, but currently assigned to the International Leadership University. And ILU has been a partner with CLC. In fact, last year's Gala was held at ILU, and so I bring greetings from the International Leadership University and congratulations for all of you for having written the amazing books that you have. I came with my wife. Maybe I can just get her to say wave from where she is. That is Nancy. Honored to do life with her. But I'm here to make a few remarks regarding our experience as judges, but really give a charge to all of us as African writers, those who've already written books and those who need to write books. So I've titled this short presentation, Writing Africa's Future. We are here to celebrate African writers and African works of Christian literature, spanning multiple genres. African Christians have a long history of involvement in catalyzing and nurturing a healthy life of the mind for the church. Modern day African writers must write because, unfortunately, the fact of Africa's rich and illustrious contributions to Christendom have either been ignored or systematically erased. Historian Hugh Trevor Roper, a Brit, in 1965 wrote, "Perhaps in the future, there will be some African history to teach. At present, there is none or very little. There is only the history of Europeans in Africa. The rest is darkness, and darkness is not a subject for history." Yeah, that was my reaction too. The historian conveniently forgot the story of the people, places, and ideas that highlight Africa's contribution to the intellectual development of the world. In Christian circles, we have places like Carthage and Cyrene in the north, Alexandria in Egypt, Aksum in Ethiopia, and ancient Nubia in Sudan. These were ancient centers of Christian worship established way before many Western European centers. At its zenith, Alexandria was larger than Rome and was the world's leading center of learning, ideas, and literature. It had the world's largest library for many, many years. Aksum was a Christian city at least half a century before Rome was established as a Christian city. Not to mention that in the biblical times, Africa provided a refuge for the likes of Abraham and Joseph when his brothers wanted him dead, as it did Moses and Jeroboam and Jeremiah. I mean, even Jesus himself, when infanticidal Herod wanted him out, it was Africa that provided shelter. But the story of Africa is not just about the places. The story of Africa's intellectual contribution was also about the people. People like Tertullian of Carthage, who wrote extensively on unity of the church, on orthodoxy and ecclesiastical order. People like Augustine of Hippo, who shaped the practice of biblical exegesis and helped lay the foundation for much of medieval and modern Christian thought. People like Apollo of Alexandria, a powerful teacher, a disciple of Priscilla and Aquila, whom some suggest may have authored the book of Hebrews. Origen was a prolific writer and interpreter of the scriptures. Athanasius was a fierce defender of the Nicene Creed. Cyril of Alexandria defended the nature of Christ's fully human nature and the fully divine nature. Abba Stephanos of Ethiopia had Martin Luther, the German reformer, sit at his feet. Martin Luther sat to learn about what God was doing in Africa, which inspired him to boldly face the corrupt church in Europe. I don't have time to talk about the likes of Simon of Cyrene, the African who helped Jesus carry the cross. And indeed, across the years, many African leaders have taken this mantle and helped carry the cause of the cross, physically and ideologically, through their readings, teachings, and writings. It is time for our generation to take up this cross. The history of Africa is not just about the people and places, but also about ideas. Decisive intellectual achievements of Christianity were explored and first understood in Africa before they were recognized in Europe, and at least a millennium before they found their way to North America. Author Thomas Orden states, Africa is a sweet kernel of grain that fed Christian intellectual history before Constantine. He observes how Africans helped shape Christian doctrine, stating, among the chief patterns for interpreting the apostolic writings were those hewn and refined in Africa before they found a home in Europe or the Near East. Many Christian ideas and practices traveled north to Europe from the Nile and the Numidian traditions. Africans must write because our future depends on it. Our sons and daughters need not only read of the story of our slavery, of the slavery, colonization, and subjugation of our people. They need to hear of the proud and godly legacy our history bequeaths us. And they need to use this to shape this new reality where once again, the spiritual center of gravity is shifting to the global south. When Africa is once more called upon to offer global leadership to the global church, we must study the scriptures diligently, allow its imperatives to affect the totality of our lives and culture, and write the tales of our tragedies and triumphs, of our hopes and aspirations with excellence. This is where ACABA comes in. We are not just awarding winners today. We are rewarding all the authors with a gift of mentorship, coaching, and exposure for you and your works, at least through a 10-month process. We say in Africa that if you want to walk fast, walk alone. But if you want to walk far, you must walk with others. CLC hopes to walk with you through taking into consideration the feedback from the judges and helping you process that, republishing or readjusting the book as per the recommendations of the judges, offering you bi-weekly trainings to take the book project beyond the traditional selling points. Some of the modules that will be covered in these sessions include ebooks, blogging, audiobooks, podcasting, book programs, authorpreneurship, collaborations, partnerships, online influences, leadership, as well as exposure of your works beyond the African market. Please take advantage of this. As Dr. Kwegi Agri of Ghana said, only the best is good enough for Africa.